Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Do on the cross. In Jesus' holy name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First of all, I'd like to thank Lloyd and Sarah. Lloyd, thanks for stepping up and doing that at the last minute. Did a great job. We will now move we have two presentations.
Can we have Sonia Pimentel please join the board up front with the Alliance for Hispanic Advancement for a presentation of a proclamation recognizing September 15th, 2024 through October 15th, 2024 as Hispanic Heritage Month in Sutter County.
Thank you for coming. This is for the Alliance for Hispanic Advancement. Each year, the Hispanic Heritage Month is observed in the United States from September 15th to October 15th in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. Sutter County Board of Supervisors recognize the Alliances for Hispanic Advancement and their commitment to the mission of improving quality of life for all people of Hispanic heritage in Sutter and the surrounding counties. And the Alliance for Hispanic Advancement continues to acknowledgement of their mission throughout the community involvement, education, enhancement, and economic promotion. Yuba-Sutter County Board of Supervisors, Sutter County Board of Supervisors do hereby acknowledge the advancement, milestone, and accomplishments of the Hispanic Alliance advancement has continued to make for Hispanic population in Sutter County. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much. I would just like to say that it takes a lot of support from the community and surrounding communities to keep this going. It's been going for over 30 years, and we plan on being here longer and doing what we can to help the Hispanic community and others. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have my camera out so I can. Can we have Rick Bingham, Assistant Director, Sutter County Health and Human Services, please join the board up front for a presentation of a proclamation recognizing September 8th through the 14th, 2024 as National Suicide Prevention Week in Sutter County.
Okay, so this is a proclamation in support of National Suicide Prevention Month, or Week, from September 8th through the 14th of 2024. National Suicide Prevention Week is a time of which individual organizations and communities around the country join their voices to increase the message that suicide can be prevented. The attitude and participation about behavioral health changes and the suicides that have significantly impacted on individuals' wellness to reach out for support and services that can alleviate distress. Acknowledging the signs of suicide, talking with someone that may be thinking about suicide and reaching out to the local resources are steps that everyone can take to care for themselves and others. All Californians are urged to play a role in suicide prevention and promotion of mental health and wellness, that we strive towards zero suicides. Sutter County Board of Supervisors do hereby proclaim the week of September 8th through the 14th as Suicide Prevention Week, and the date of September 10th, 2024 as World Suicide Prevention Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisors. We kicked off this week of suicide prevention with a Bridging Hope event where we had many members of the community gather together, and we walked across the 10th Street Bridge and back the 5th Street Bridge, and the idea behind that was to just bring awareness to the community about the fact that suicide can happen. It is preventable. And we want to make sure that individuals understand that mental health treatment is available. So Lucy's just going to tell us real quick kind of about that event, how many folks we had, and preparations for next year.
Hi, everyone. So we had 301 people participate at our Bridging Hope event, which is actually more than last year. So we're super excited to see this event grow. We had 30 community agencies partner with us for our resource fair, and we're really excited to plan for next year's event.
Thank you. The other thing that we've been working on is a suicide prevention plan, a community-wide suicide prevention plan. And we've brought together many members of the community to work on this, and Carrie's been heading that up for us. We've got another meeting coming up on the 19th, so we'd like to see as many folks attend that as possible and help us in our suicide plan prevention efforts. And then the last thing I'll say is, again, this is treatable. It's a treatable condition. And, I just wanted to reiterate some statistics about the fact that when folks seek therapy for a mental health condition, it reduces their thoughts of suicide by 55% and reduces acts of suicide by 38%. So, again, there's treatment available here in Yuba and Sutter counties. Thank you.
Sarah. Or Sheriff Park, go out there. Sheriff Park right there. Sheriff Park, yeah.
Okay, that concludes our presentations. Now will be public comment. Members of the public have been allowed to address the Board of Supervisors on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter and jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. State law provides that no action may be taken or discussion be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. Do we have any speaker cards?
We do, Mr. Chairman. We have 5 speaker cards. The first speaker is Tina Hessong.
In August, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg voluntarily turned state's evidence and threw the Biden-Harris administration under the bus. He established the link under law between government pressure and platforms' actions, creating the risk of prosecution for officials under the Hatch Act. Anytime federal funds are received, it makes you subject to regulations of that act. This board is not immune because it accepted CTCL and HAVA funds. Indisputable evidence has proved that algorithms have been used in previous elections to ensure certain outcomes and subvert the will of the people. Unfortunately, our small community is not immune. According to the numbers team of New California State, Supervisor Ziegenmeyer, you ran unopposed, so your race was exempt. Supervisor Flores, your certified total of 1,165 votes, or 51.7%, was deflated by the algorithm because your true vote count was 1,227, or 54.2%. You won legitimately, but they were trying to steal the seat from you. Mr. Conant, your certified total was 4,945, and your true vote count was 4,121. You did not win your seat. The algorithm inflated your numbers. It is suspected that that fraud in your election was not to seat you, but to keep Sarb Tahara out. Supervisor Baines, your certified total was 5,396, and your true count was 4,497. Meaning you would have won honestly. The narrow margin between D4 opponents of 187 was too close for comfort. The certified vote count was engineered by a technician to look like a random vote decided by the people. With early voting reconnaissance, the technician saw how close this election was and spun the algorithm to ensure a win. The glaring differences between the certified totals and the true count is an indication of ballot harvesting and ballot trafficking committed by mules to drop boxes that were sponsored by Zuckerberg and the CTCL. Supervisor Michelli, you won your election at the primary and no algorithms were used. The United States Constitution, the supreme law of this land, directs us to election day, not election season. Constituents, this is why they need 29 days before and 27 days after an election. These voting machines are not efficient and they're not cost effective. The electronic voting system is rigged and affected 3 out of 5 seats on this board. In November, vote only on election day and only vote in person.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Our next public speaker is Tony Farley.
Yep,
Tony.
Tony Farley, South City, South County. Matt Conan, the chairman, the free servers, also the farmer. I found out he drives a little Toyota truck. I see inside a big King Ranch monster truck, not inside a Toyota truck. A big monster truck, King Ranch for you. Down floor, I see inside a Star Wars spaceship blaster. Yeah, the dark side. Wonder Woman will beat the dark side any day. We're a match with Lasso and Damascara. And Mike Ziegler, I see you inside Italian Maserati. And Carl Ben, see inside, again, Maserati, also Lamborghini tractor. Nicholas Mitchell, I see inside a Humvee with AR-15 mount on top, or 50 caliber mount since you're the gun guy. And Undersheriff Smallwood, I see inside an MRAB tank. All the Sheriff's Department people get the MRABs tanks, the Bradleys. Mr. Marine guy, I see inside a Marine Corps tank. Mr. Captain guy, I see inside a bank truck, a money truck. And farmer's lady, I see inside a farmer's truck. And Bill, I see inside a Harbor Law School fancy car. And Steve Smith, I see inside $1 million Tesla, man. And the baddest sheriff out there, the coolest sheriff, the funniest sheriff. He reminds you of Alan from Duck Dynasty. He reminds you of the Alan from Duck Dynasty a little bit. Duck Dynasty, man. And Veronica, I see Veronica, the Kid Gibson twin. And Neil, I see Neil inside a Caltrans truck. And Sarah, I see Sarah inside an old Ford truck. She likes her Ford trucks. And the fellow Sacramento, I see you as President Kenny in Sacramento. Thank you for your service. yeah.
Our next public speaker is Vera Correa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and the Board of Supervisors. My name is Vera Correa. I'm here with the Alliance for Hispanic Advancement. And I'm sorry, I was late. I'm never late, but I got it wrong. Anyway, I want to thank you for always honoring us, and especially on this month. This is Hispanic Heritage Month, and it honors all of those that are a part of the Hispanic heritage to remember their culture and remember where we came from and how we honor our forefathers and the next generations to come. So we greatly appreciate you as a board that supports us and recognizes us, and we need to do more of this with all the other cultures around. And thank you again for honoring us. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Our next public speaker is Becky Mendoza.
Hi, board members. My name is Becky Mendoza. I was born and raised in Sutter County and now live in Live Oak out on Hedger Road. It's come to my attention that the new owners of the house at 5404 Pennington Road plan to convert this single-family residence into an alcohol rehab facility. Many of us in the community have spoken to board members and county departments, and I'm simply here today to publicly make the board aware of the situation and the members of the public as well. We are not okay with this coming into our community, not because we don't care about people getting sober or improving their lives or promote that, but because it's an inappropriate location for multiple reasons. So mainly due to, number one, lack of public transportation out in that area. It's on Pennington Road. There's no shoulder on that road, so if people are walking down that road, they're likely to be trespassing on adjacent properties and into farmland. It's also not safe for them. Number two, the possible emergency response time in case of a medical emergency. We know that these rehab facilities are detoxing people, and they could, have a medical emergency, and the time it takes to get an ambulance to that location is quite a while. Also, the probability of increased calls to the sheriff's department for crime and other nuisance in the area. So I'd simply like to urge the board to task staff from various departments, including the Sheriff's Department, Development Services, HHS, anyone else that might be possibly affected by this, to look into this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Next speaker.
Our next public speaker is Sarah Pippett.
Hello, my name is Sarah Pippett, and I'm going to piggyback on what my sister Becky Mendoza spoke on. We're fifth generation, currently raising the sixth generation in this Sutter County, living out in Live Oak off of Pennington Road. And again, I want to reiterate that we are really about and in support of people getting help, whether it's drug or alcohol rehabilitation, but we do really feel like this particular location is extremely inappropriate for such a facility. We already know that our Sutter County Sheriff's Department is fairly taxed in that area. There's not a lot of staff on hand at any given point. Also, the Live Oak Fire Department would likely be the one to take the first call if there was a medical issue. I think we all are probably aware of, at some level, that if you take a person who is detoxing from alcohol, there's a potential for heart attacks or other issues like that. So we really want to try to avoid those types of situations. And the biggest thing that we would like to do is be proactive on this situation and potentially, like Becky said, maybe work with some of the other departments like developmental services and things like that, because of the zoning issues that this might potentially cross over if there is medical staff on hand. From my understanding, that kind of goes against the ag zoning of that area or a single family resident. So we are really looking to the board to take this as a very serious matter. We have approximately 45 to 50 families, including the Evanses and Plumas and a few of the other families out in the area that are really concerned about this particular issue. we're all ready to gather together and speak with you guys in another forum if that's a possibility, maybe a community meeting of some sort. But we really appreciate your guys' time. We appreciate all that you guys do for our community, and we really like to collaborate with you all on potentially, like I said, being proactive on the situation instead of reactive. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have 3 more public speaker cards. Our next public speaker is Ashley.
I'm here to express my strong opposition to the proposed opening of an alcohol rehabilitation center in the area near our homes and farming in rural Live Oak. As a resident of this community, I'm deeply concerned about the resounding negative impacts this facility will have on our quality of life, local environment, and agricultural lifestyle. The introduction of an alcohol rehabilitation center in this area poses several significant risks and concerns. The presence of this facility may lead to a decrease in property values in our rural community. Many of us have invested heavily in our homes and farms, and the establishment of such a facility could adversely affect our financial stability. Farming is a primary livelihood for many residents nearby. The increased foot traffic and activity associated with the rehabilitation center could disrupt the farming operations, hinder access to our properties, and create safety concerns for both residents and farm workers. Our rural community thrives on its peaceful and close-knit environment. The introduction of a facility with many visitors and staff could alter the character of our community and affect the safety we currently have. My husband, who has served in law enforcement for 20 years, is acutely aware of the issues and challenges that come with operating such facilities. His extensive experience has provided us with insights into the potential complications, including increased demand for law enforcement resources and potential safety concerns that could arise from having this in a rural setting. These issues underscore our concern that the proposed location is not ideal for the facility. We understand the importance of providing rehabilitation services and support for those in need. However, we believe that such facilities should be located in areas that are better suited to handle the associated challenges, such as urban and suburban settings where infrastructure and services are more adequately equipped. The Sutter County Sheriff's Office is already facing significant limitations in its resources when it comes to providing essential services in our community. There is currently only 1 deputy on patrol in this area at any given time. The establishment of this facility would further strain these resources, creating an unsustainable situation not only for the Sheriff's Office, but also for the Live Oak Fire Department, which would be responsible for responding to the increase in medical calls. Our community lacks the law enforcement and medical resources necessary to support a facility that will inevitably lead to a substantial rise in demand for these services. The increased foot traffic that would result from the opening of this facility on Pennington Road poses a significant safety risk to both motorists and pedestrians. This road, currently a quiet and largely traffic-free route, is not equipped to handle the volume of additional vehicles and individuals that such a facility would attract, especially since there is not any public transportation available nearby. The width of Pennington Road does not provide a shoulder for pedestrians to navigate safely. The potential for increased congestion and the presence of pedestrians crossing or walking along the road could lead to tragedy on our rural roadways. This could also lead to pedestrians navigating through private property. The increase in this traffic statistics can be supported by local law enforcement public records requests with similar rehabilitation facilities within their jurisdictions. I urge the board to thoroughly evaluate our concerns, which may also include potential ag zone conflicts.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up,
could arise.
please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Our next public speaker is Janet Johnson.
My name is Janet Johnson. I'm a Sutter County resident, and I've been here almost all my life, which is well over 75 years. I was here once before. I came to do something else today, but I guess we're not doing that. I want to address, I was here before about the bike path over on Tharp Road, which my name was given to someone. I can't remember who it was. They never did get back to me on that. It's unsafe. There is no bicycle path going south on that road. And I won't belabor on that. I've got a few other things I want to say. Also, too, the road markings are horrible in our city and county. When you come up to stop signs, stop lights. You can't even tell which way you're supposed to go. And I don't know exactly where to start on that. Maybe you have some suggestions. I don't know if it starts with you, but something absolutely needs to be done about that because it's terrible. The traffic is so congested anymore, and when you can't even see the markings and you're not even sure which way to go, I'm sure there's probably accidents happen because of this. And then the other thing I'd like to discuss today is a pet peeve. It's about pets. It's about dogs. I've already gone to the health department. People nowadays, it's lawlessness. They bring their animals, their dogs, into the stores. They put them into the shopping carts. I understand service dogs, and I'm all for service dogs. But now it's like people think they can just bring any animal or any pet into a store, and also restaurants, and these stores that sell food. And I thought that the health department should be in charge of this. But it's like a lot of things in government. When I went to the health department, they told me that OSHA takes care of it. So I don't know if I'm allowed to ask you questions or not, but I would like to know, have you tell me who is supposed to take care of this if the health department doesn't? Because to me, these animals, you get food, fur on your food and everything else. I think that should be a health department issue. Am I wrong?
Maybe we could direct staff to get back with you on that. I don't even, Sarah, is that kind of your alley? I don't. Yeah, I know, but
to the chair, I can ask environmental health.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Into it. Thank you.
Something should be done. It shouldn't just have the buck passed. I mean, it's really seriously out of control now, and it's not right to people that, I don't have any pets. Now, if people want to have pets, that's fine with me. But I don't think it's right that they can just take them into the store and put them in the shopping carts or whatever. And I actually I was bitten by a dog. I have a little bit of a fear of dogs, and it just makes me very uncomfortable, and I think something should be done about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Do we have any other speakers?
We have one more speaker card. Our next public speaker is Steph Rossino.
Hi. You pronounced my name right. It's a secret. The G shuts up in Italian. So anyway, I'm here. I'm going to just lower it to the voting and the potholes. And I can't remember which AB bill it was that says you guys have the power and the authority to go back to paper hand-counted ballots, and you have enough time to do it before the next election, where we can guarantee if any one of you wants to know the algorithms, there's 7, but I was told this morning there's 9 that's been identified across the United States on how votes are cheated. We already knew the standard, and nobody denied it, that the last election, for every ballot, the standard one, for every vote for Biden, he got 1.3. Every vote for Trump was 0.7. Some was so whacked out they had to flip them. But we would like to something that's been worked for over 200 years, and that is one person, and you know their name, and you know where they live, whether it's by ID or personal knowledge, and you get one vote, and you have a process for counting. I spent over 30 years as an election inspector, so I know the process, and it works. Sometimes you go nuts because there's more ballots in your box than we passed out, and sometimes, you know, they mark them up bad, but, you know, you just put that under spoiled. But there's a way to do it and to count it. With machines, I thought it was so ridiculous where they're going, oh, you don't have to worry about the internet and the voting machines, even though other countries know the dangers, and they've sued, and they're out of the business of using those machines. So anyway, a process for counting. We know that Wi-Fi goes everywhere. So if you tell me that they're in a special room where they count, it's like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm not in kindergarten, and I don't believe adults. But going back to the fact that it's a cheating system, let's going back to the paper ballots where we have control over our ballots, and our people can count them and do it open, honest, behind, you know, not behind closed doors, but open and fair. That's one. But the other, I'm still going to harp on just under $1 million is the difference between paper ballots at $1.85 versus machine ballots at $19.50. How many potholes can $1 million fix? How many people in here are different agencies? How many extra staff or supplies would that buy? Law enforcement, I'm kind of tired of not getting any help with law enforcement. They don't do anything most of the time because there's not enough staff. And what is it, $130,000 with everything together to hire a new officer? That could buy us, what, 9 officers? That might make a big difference, and I hope it would make criminals think twice before they apply their trades to innocent people. Well, anyway, that was my main thing. Money is going to be tight. This morning, the Legislative Analyst's Office came out with their report. $8.5 billion went out last month, but nobody knows where it went. Geez, how many of you trust the government, especially the state, to tell you or fully disclose what they did with our money? Tell me, does a $8.5 billion, will that make a difference in our county? Shoot, I think our potholes would be filled with gold with that. But, and children?
Thank you. Any others? That's it. Okay. Moving on from public comment to...
Through the chair.
Yeah.
So for those of you here today that haven't been to a meeting before, we can't speak about stuff that's not on the agenda. We'd love to talk about it. We'd love to come back and talk about everything that you come up, because trust me, most of the time we feel the same way, but we can't. So on issues, I'm going to use this as an example. When issues arise throughout the community, they call us. And trust me when I say we are working on these issues. We have an amazing staff. We got some of the greatest department heads around right here. I can guarantee you that. Because when I get a call on a Saturday or a Sunday and I call one of them, they usually answer their phones or call me back. So it is something that we really are working behind the scenes on issues that most of the time they come before this board, but usually we hear about it, you know, throughout the community. We see them at the school or at the football game or somewhere. They call us up and say, hey, this is going on here or whatever. But we immediately try to find the avenue, you know, to the department where we can go through and figure it out. And it's tough to sit back here, you know, when you guys bring up and talk about your issue with the house in your community. We can't talk about that. But if you were to come through us, you know, after the meeting or give me a caller, because I can promise you I've spoken to a lot of people in your area about this, and I'll ask them to try to, you know, communicate with the rest of you. But that's just what I wanted to say. Like I said, there's a lot of issues come up. We are working on them. They mean a lot to us. We're not blowing you off. So, you know, we're all trying to help you solve the problem. That's what we're here for, to help out. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. All right, moving on to the consent calendar. Consent calendar groups together those items which are considered non-controversial or which prior policy direction had been given to staff and that require only routine action by the board. The chair will advise the audience that any matter may be adopted by one total motion. However, the board may, as its officer, upon the request of a member of the public, consider any matter separately. Do we have any speaker cards on this item? Okay, it's items 1 through 11.
Move for approval of consent. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor McKelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Okay, moving on to item number 12. It's the Waterworks District 1. The board, we will adjourn the Board of Supervisors and convene the Water District 1 board meeting, Board of Directors. We'll let the roll call stand. Members of the public will be allowed to address the Water District Works 1 Board of Directors on items of interest to the public or within the subject matter and jurisdiction of the board. State law provides that no action may be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. We have a consent calendar, item one item. Do we have a motion? Oh, we have any speaker cards? Nope. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Director McKelly?
Aye.
Director Flores?
Aye.
Director Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Director Baines?
Aye.
Director Conant?
Aye. We will now adjourn the Water District 1 Board of Directors meeting and reconvene the Board of Supervisors, and we'll let the roll call stand. Appearance item number 13 is Neil Hay.
Adoption of a resolution authorizing the submission and acceptance of a Caltrans Sustainability Transportation Planning Grant in the amount of $314,500 for a climate change vulnerability analysis for Live Oak and Gilsizer County drainage districts, and authorization to appoint the county administrator or their designee as agent to conduct and negotiate all negotiations, execute and submit all documents which may be necessary for the completion of the project.
Good afternoon, Chair and Supervisors. So on behalf of the county and the Gilsizer County Drainage District, my department submitted an application with assistance from a consultant, the Peterson Consulting Advantage, for this grant, which would help us study the impacts of climate change on the Gilsizer Drainage District and the Live Oak Canal. The reason being is that, as I think you're fully aware, we have a lot of failing culverts throughout the county. So specifically, we identified these two districts as an area to study. And what the methodology is that you essentially, to be able to fortunate to receive this grant and then study the districts and identify the impacts of climate change per the California state guidelines. And then we would be eligible for future grants for construction purposes to replace the pipes, for the most part, to upsize them. So both the construction and the environmental impacts. And so this is a grant that allows us to do that and be eligible. Without the grant or the study being done, we wouldn't be eligible for future construction funds. So we have a resolution before your board. Tomorrow, the Gilsizer board will hear a corresponding action as well. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Through the chair.
Yes.
You know, when we talked about this in Public Works, we talked about how I would say the word lucky we were to receive this grant, because with this grant was actually first thing we brought up when Conant and I, Supervisor Conant, were in there. We're like, really, climate change? You know, really, seriously? But that's the government for you. But in order to receive this grant, you know, when we applied for it, it opened up the avenues of revenue towards our culverts, which was huge for us. And I believe there was a very low percentage that received this grant.
Yeah, most definitely. So Sutter County was one of the few agencies in the North State that was awarded this type of grant. We specifically identified the Gilsizer District and the Live Oak Canal because both of those districts have fund balance to provide the local match. So there's no impact to the general fund to study both of these. We realized, you know, there was a number of other pipes and culverts throughout the rest of the county, but this essentially would be, we'll say, kind of a model and kind of a starting an initiative to kind of developing a procedure going forward.
Through the chair.
Yeah, but then go ahead.
Questions? Move approval, recommended action.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion or any questions from Neil? Actually, I had one I wanted to bring up. If not, nobody else? Okay. Neil, for the public information, can you elaborate on how many total culverts estimated we have in Sutter County and what our funding sources are?
Sure. So my department has done a number of studies, and we've identified that there's just shy of 1,200 crossings. So those would include of county roads and pipes and bridges and concrete box culverts, essentially some type of either irrigation canal, drainage canal, or natural water course that crosses underneath the county roadway. And there's a variety of different sources for bridges that are more than 20 feet long. There's the Highway Bridge Program, which are federal funds that are administered through Caltrans. For bridges that are less than 20 feet, those are the responsibility of the county. And all of the pipe crossings then that service either natural structures, irrigation structures, are kind of a combination of the county and the corresponding maybe water companies and reclamation districts.
Matt, through the chair, I got a question to piggyback off your question, which was going to be, how long does the state normally take for these permits? Because, like I said, I think the public's unaware of this, how long this takes for these permits. And we live in an agricultural community, which means when you have a culvert that goes bad and you can't drive an almond truck or rice truck or walnut truck over that road, which Supervisor Conant has in his district mainly, we've had roads shut down for almost 2 years now.
So we are, what unfortunately happens is that most of the water courses in Sutter County are associated with, we'll say, ag purposes, and so there's typically cattails as a vegetation, and that is a telltale sign of the giant garter snake. If there's giant garter snake habitat, it requires certainly state permits, and then if you damage the habitat, you also have to pay mitigation to a giant garter snake farm, essentially for the impact that'll be caused to construction. Those are all California requirements. We're averaging easily 2 years, 24 months for an environmental permit on any type of crossing. On the federal aid bridge projects, we have 6 that are in process. We have a number of them that were started in 2017, and they've all been held up on environmental issues, both federal and state. So NEPA is the federal guidelines, and then there's various agencies that weigh in on those, and then for the California permits as well. So it has become, challenging. We have we are intending to this next spring begin replacing one of the 6, and then hopefully every year thereafter we'll be able to work through those bridge projects.
Yeah, through the chair. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, you can tell that I'm not a huge fan of the state. All right.
Oh,
not at all. Absolute horrible partner.
Nick had a question.
Oh, no, I don't have a question. Just wanted to let people know the Sanders Road Bridge project in Live Oak has been 3.5 years. We started that my first 6 months in the office. It's still not done. Has not been started. So that's how long it takes.
Mark Hopkins is longer.
Oh, just to give an update, so the Sanders Road Bridge was designed about a year ago, fully designed, and we've been working through the environmental permits for it. That's the state permits. And the Mark Hopkins one, it was designed as well, and we're waiting on the permits on that too. So, and those are projects that we're utilizing SB1 funds. As otherwise, if we would have tried to seek federal funds, it's typically a 7 to 10 year process to replace a bridge.
I know. Hey, this is on subject. We're close. We're talking about. They're getting upset with us because we keep
right
on.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I had a comment.
It's no different than Pass Road, another main artery that goes from Sutter to Meridian to Colusa. We're still 3 years out on Pass Road, and that was from a storm that devastated that roadway. That state didn't come in, federal government didn't come in with any FEMA road funds for us on that. That's another out-of-pocket expense. Once again, you have all these culverts and stuff that go bad. And this is what we have to deal with on literally a daily to weekly basis.
Okay. We have a lengthy discussion item, so we'll move on. Are there any speaker cards before we?
There was a motion and a second.
Right, we have a motion and a second. We had to do the speaker cards first, which we already did. Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Supervisor McKelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Okay, following up, item number 14, reports and announcements. Steve?
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Supervisors. To add to that last discussion, Mr. Hay and staff have put in for emergency applications as well that get denied by the state. We let them know that some of these thoroughfares are critical arteries for farming, and they've denied our ability to work on those. So just wanted the public to know that as well. It was mentioned earlier, the Bridging Hope Walk, that was a big success. Great to see a lot of staff out there, and Rick Bingham was one of the primary speakers and did a great job, and Lucy, who was here earlier, did a great job, and Sarah was there, and supervisors, so it was a good time, and Tony was there. We walked together, so anyways, just wanted to thank staff and everyone for putting together a great event. Thank you.
Okay, that it, Steve? You have anything else? Nothing? Okay, moving on, we have correspondence, Sutter County Pooled Investments, Sutter County Law Library, notification of donation of $500 from Grange, and application for alcohol beverage license. And then we also have current boards and commissions vacancies. Moving on, is there any district reports? Mike, would you like to start?
Close in memory of Joni Hauser. I met her a few times at a few of these events. I mean, her daughters do so much in our community. I'm sure all of us want to close in memory of her. And then Buster Brugman, longtime farmer in Sutter County. Buster was an amazing guy. I mean, just the coolest guy in the world. I was sad to hear of his passing. Moving on to the positive. So football season's here for high school football, volleyball, flag football. It's really awesome. Get a chance to go out and watch. A lot of teams are doing really well. The Sutter Huskies just traveled to Idaho a couple weeks ago. Beat a great Idaho team up there, 28-14. That was a great game. Like I said, volleyball is doing really well right now. Flag football, brand new sport for this area. So get a chance, get out there and watch it, and be safe this week. Dan?
District 2, the heart of Sutter County, another party going on this weekend. So we have Brews, Blues, and Barbecue, the annual Kiwanis event, and they raise $30,000, $40,000 for scholarships, and love to have everybody join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. So Saturday from 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Carm?
Yes, I'd like to acknowledge our Economic Development Director, Scott Powell, is actually leading an Israeli delegation, the Israeli Economic Mission to the West Market visit. Those folks are here. Some of us had an opportunity to meet them earlier at City Hall, and they're going to be here till 5 o'clock today in the area. But I think it's great to see a delegation like that come into our community and see what we have to offer and see if there's some kind of relationships that could be built on. All right. Thank you for mentioning the Bridging Hope. Sorry, do you want to say something, RCO? Okay. I attended the Bridging Hope, the walk for suicide prevention and awareness and prevention. I think it was a great turnout. I didn't sign up, so when she said it was 301 attendees, there might have been 302 because I didn't get in a group. I just walked with Rick. So, all right. Okay, here. So letters of condolences and sympathy sent out to some families, the families of Gramil, Singh, Dalai, Dalbert, and Gill, and I'd like to add my name to Johnny Hauser's. But I think we need to have more than just a letter go out to the family of Sutter County Probation Officer Sandeep Rai. If there is something that can be done by the county to recognize her 17 years of service, whether it's at the probation department or purchase a brick at the museum. I mean, it's just something that we could please do for her. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Nick? Nothing. I just got one thing. So tonight is a debate. I think a good electorate and citizens should always be informed about the candidates, and this is your only opportunity tonight. I understand there's not going to be any more debates, so which is sad because this is a very critical thing of President of the United States. We're going to have one debate, so when you go home tonight, try to watch or listen to that. I understand it'll be on the radio as well. This debate and see and get educated about the candidates. And that was, I didn't have any closing memory of anybody. So we need a motion now
to the chair.
Oh, Carm? Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor Baines, for bringing up Sandeep Rai. I should have as well. I'm usually trying to think of good things to talk about, and this is a terrible thing for the county. But yeah, Deputy Chief Probation Officer Sandeep Rai. I'd gotten to know her a bit, maybe, 10 years ago or so, when I was helping out over at the probation department. Consummate professional, just very hard worker, smart, survived by a young son and husband, and it's just really terrible and hitting many of us hard, and especially the probation department, of course. It's a great loss for the community and for the department and for the county. So I did want to mention there is a memorial service at Ulrey's in Yuba City on the 16th, I think from 11 to 1. And then for employees, we're going to have something at the Vets Hall, I think on the 30th. I forget the time of that. 11 o'clock at the 30th, on the 30th. So I just wanted to mention that, both the one for anyone who knew her and then for the employees as well. So just a tragic loss. Thank you.
And I guess I got one thing to add, and then we'll ask for a motion. Tennyson Myers is, make this print bigger. This is on my phone, so there's. It was great sadness that Yuba-Sutter Behavioral Health shares news of the sudden passing of a cherished member of our team. On August 3rd, 2024, Tennyson Myers passed away. Tennyson served as a work for Sutter County as an extra hire mental health worker on a psychiatric health facility in January 2012 and promoted a full-time mental health worker in 2019 November. Tennyson exhibited personal integrity and strong work with other dependents and professionals of all types. Throughout Tracy built were strong relationships with peers and touched the lives of countless members of the Sutter Yuba County's residents that served as his duty as a mental health worker. You know, these people that help people that have, you know, on the worst part days of their lives have great, horrible jobs at times that are so hard to do. And Tennyson apparently is one of those people. I didn't personally know him, but anyway, I like the meeting closed in memory of him as well. So we don't have a motion yet, do we?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, okay, we'll do that one. Anybody opposed? Seeing none, motion passed unanimously. We will now go into closed session. And
We have three closed sessions scheduled for today. The first one is conference with labor negotiators Gina Rowland and Veronica Baumgartner, Sutter County Peace Officers Association, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. The second closed session is conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation, one potential case, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D, subsection 2. The third closed session is evaluation of public employee, position title County Administrator, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, subsection B.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.